Support for Sportspage is provided by First Central Bank, full-service banking from 6 locations in Warrensburg, Holden, Higginsville, and Odessa. More information is available on their Facebook page or at the website firstcentral.net. Member FDIC. By the University Store. The University Store is the official headquarters for Mules and Jenny's emblem clothing, gifts, and UCM memorabilia. Books, office supplies, art supplies, and more are available at the University Store, located on the lower floor of the Elliott Union on the UCM campus in Warrensburg. And promotional support for Sportspage is provided by 1450 Cocoa and 98.5 The Bar. 1450 Cocoa and 98.5 The Bar, the radio home of University of Central Missouri Athletics.
Coming up on this week's edition of the Central Missouri Sports Page, we'll talk to Mules basketball coach Kim Anderson as the MIAA men's basketball race gets a little tighter. It's tournament time for the Mules wrestling team, and we'll visit with Coach Justin Ensign about his wrestlers' postseason chances. In our Sports Page Spotlight, we'll get to know 2 UCM student athletes a little better, Jenny's basketball standout BreAnna Lewis and Mules wrestler Ty Loethen. So stay tuned. Your weekly inside look at UCM Mules and Jenny's sports is next on KMOS-TV. Hello everyone, we're glad you could join us here on KMOS-TV. I'm Bill Turnage, sitting in for Sean Jones this week here on Sports Page as Sean is returning from a successful Mules baseball trip to Houston. Last week at this time, the Mules had a 2-game lead in the loss column in the MIAA men's basketball race. This week, it's a 1-game lead as the Mules ran into a very good Lindenwood team on Saturday. Joining us first tonight on the show is Mules head coach Kim Anderson to talk about a tough loss and how he wants his team to respond to it this week. Kim, glad to have you with us tonight.
Bill, good to be here.
Last week we talked about how good Lindenwood was, and it turned out we were correct.
Yeah, they played well. You know, I thought that as we went into that game, we had talked about trying to force them out of their comfort zone, and we certainly didn't do that there early in the second half, and they went on I believe it was a 19-2 run. But I thought I was proud of the way our guys responded. We got down 16. A lot of teams would have just chucked it in, and we got the game back to where we actually had the lead with 10 seconds left, and so you know, from that standpoint, I was really pleased. But I thought there in the second half there was about a 10-minute stretch early, and it kind of shows up on film where our energy level just wasn't what it needed to be, and I don't know if that was fatigue or whether it was just thinking that, hey, you know, we can win this game without putting forth the necessary effort. But when we were down 16, we figured it out. So I'll give our guys credit. I think they're, you know, they played with a great deal of passion and a great deal of emotion down the stretch. And you know, Lindenwood had a great crowd. Had over 3,000 people there. It was a promotional game for them, and so we really, you know, we really fought back and had a chance to win the game there in the last 10 seconds.
As you said, it was close all the way through the first half, and then that first 6-minute stretch of the second half was like the lights went out at the Super Bowl on Sunday. Lindenwood hit 7 of 9 shots, and we hit 1 out of 10. Yeah,
they shot the ball really well from 3 the whole night. You know, our percentages were similar, but overall, but their three percentage was 67%, I think. And you know, we're looking at the highlights now. I think that you know, we got off to a decent start. We got going a little bit. You know, Widge hits a shot there, and you know, we had Reggie jumps up and hits a nice jump shot there. So first half we were okay. It was the second half where we didn't look very good.
Mules are in the black, Lindenwood in the gold, and as you can see, it's a pretty full house there at Lindenwood, and they were very supportive all afternoon for their ball club.
Yeah, Dominique Long turned his jump shot, and then Lance Beckwith with a layup on a steal. You know, Lindenwood shot the ball so well that they really, we had to extend our defense on. There's Chuck Hamrick, I thought, played a great game. I think had a career-high 20 points.
Lindenwood was one of the better shooting teams in the league. They were ranked in the top 5 in field goal percentage, 3-point field goal percentage, and free throw percentage, so you knew they were going to shoot the ball.
Yeah, well, going in, you know, they, you know, I always pay a great move by Charles. I always pay a lot of attention to the conference stats, just the conference-only stats, and you know, they had a 40. I think they were shooting about 46%. We were shooting about the same, but they were shooting a lot better from three, and that certainly proved in this game.
Lance Beckwith with the ball down low inside to Matt Webb, and Matt's going to make a nice move and get a nice basket. Matt had a good ball game.
Yeah, we started to go inside. You know, their big guy got in foul trouble, and without him in the game, it really was an advantage for us to throw it inside. And I thought that Matt did a good job and Alex Dean did a good job of getting the ball to the basket and being able to score without their big guy in the game. But when he was in the game, he definitely made a difference. You know, he had 14 points in 15 minutes. But when he wasn't in the game, we certainly tried to get it inside.
Chuck with a drive and a sort of a fadeaway there, as he looked like he got bumped and knocked down, but he got the basket.
Yeah, great shot, great body control. You know, he's got that ability to do that.
Great pass there from Lance to Matt for another basket. Reggie's going to hit one here for the Mules as we approach the end of the first half.
Yeah, with you know, we had about a 6-point lead there going and had the ball and couldn't convert, and then they came down and hit a three. So instead of being up 8, we ended up being up 3, which is certainly a difference.
40-37 was the halftime score, and the Mules were up 3, and then problems began in the second half. As we said, Lindenwood came out and hit 7 of their first 9. The Mules were able to hit just 1 of 10, and the lead got up to 16 with 11 minutes left to play. And as you said, Kim, a lot of teams could have just said, pack it in, we're done, but your guys came back strong.
Yeah, I was proud of our guys. I thought they fought back. You know, when it got to 16, it kind of leveled off there at 16, 14, 12, back to 14, and then we started making a run there. Ryan Magjosh knocks in a 3, and you know, Chuck again shot the ball very well from 3, which he hadn't been doing this year. He's really been practicing that a lot, so I was really happy to see him have some success. Great pass by Alex inside to Lance. Lance always does a good job of slashing to the basket, even though he's not quite as big. Chuck again.
He's settled into his role coming off the bench.
He really likes that. You know, I've talked to him about that. There, Dominique knocks down one of his corner jump shots that he gets quite often.
Chuck nails another one. As you
I
said,
think Chuck likes coming off the bench. I think it just gives him a chance to kind of assess what's going on. Plus, he's very versatile. You can play him at a lot of different positions, so he's given us a big boost.
With a nice pass down low to Matt for another basket. At this point, the Mules were back in the ball game.
I like these highlights. You know, I didn't see any of Lindenwood's shots.
We didn't see Lindenwood make a shot, did we?
Good. We keep talking about them making all these shots.
Yeah, unfortunately, we saw them do it in person, so it was tough. Nice follow-up there by Chuck.
I think in this segment of the game, toward the end, I think we're obviously playing with a lot more urgency than we did in the first probably 30 minutes.
Big basket there by Reggie. He's going to hit another one here, and we're down to the final seconds, as you can see the clock running up at the top of the scoreboard. And we got a foul call. Here's the second free throw. That puts Lindenwood up by 1. And the Mules do get the final shot here, but Chuck has to, he's in traffic, puts it up from about half court, off to the side, no good, and that's going to be it. And Lindenwood comes away with an 83-82 win. Chuck Hamrick, as we said, 20 points, season high for him. And the good part, Mules are still in first place.
Yeah, you know, you look at this game, and of course, you know, the play at the end is one that I'm sure we talked about for a while, but, you know, we put ourselves in a position to let someone else control our destiny, and you can't do that. You know, you know, 1-point game with 10 seconds left, anything can happen, and anything did happen.
It did happen.
So, you know, I think a better lesson learned for that is don't put yourself in that spot, and hopefully we'll do a better job of that this weekend when we go to Central Oklahoma and to Missouri Southern.
And with that exciting finish, excuse me, that sets the stage for a great rematch next Wednesday night at the Multipurpose Building when you get Lindenwood here.
Yeah, they'll be coming back, I guess, a week from Wednesday or a week from yesterday, and certainly, you know, I would make my appeal to have a great crowd. In particular, the students. I think it'd be a great night for the students to have a lot of fun.
Yeah.
They want to come out and get after somebody, because they certainly got after us. And but that's what college basketball is all about.
Yeah.
And you know, hopefully next week we'll have a great crowd to come out and cheer these guys on.
As you said, a couple of road games to take care of first, though. Thursday night, you're at Central Oklahoma, and they look like a hard team to figure out. They've won 5 MIAA road games, which is outstanding, but they've only won 1 time at home. So what are you expecting from them?
Well, they're a little bit different team. You know, they're a very talented team. They present numerous matchup problems because they have multiple guys that can post up. They have multiple guys that can step out and shoot a 3. They're not particularly big. I mean, they've got some 6'7", 6'8" guys, but they're 6'4", 6'5" guys post up a lot, and their 6'7", 6'8" guys step out and shoot. So it'll be a matchup. It'll be a matchup nightmare for us, but they got to guard us too. So you know, I think they'll mix their defenses up a lot. You know, they'll play some zone, they'll play some man. They're always very talented, always very well coached, and you know, hopefully we can go down there and play well, because if they're making shots, they're really, really hard to beat, you know, because they shoot so many 3-point shots. But hopefully we can do a good job of getting out to them on the perimeter and keeping them from making a bunch of threes.
The three-pointer is very much part of their game. They've shot 99 more than we have in the same amount of games, and they've made 38 more, so you've got to be able to defend that.
Yeah, you know, shooting more doesn't bother me, making more does. And, you know, they're a team that relies a lot on the ball screen offense, a lot of pick and rolls, pick and pops, and spreading the floor out and throwing it inside. And good team, and you know, as I said, very well coached. Terry Evans has been down there a long time and done a great job for them. So we know we got our work cut out for us.
And you've only got 1 day off between games. You play Thursday and Saturday as you wrap up this 4-game road swing. Saturday night you'll be in Joplin to play Missouri Southern. They're a young team, no seniors, and they've been struggling lately. They've lost 5 straight going into Thursday night's game at home against Southwest Baptist, but they're not a team you can overlook.
No, I hope they keep struggling. But you know, they're again another great program. Robert Korn been down there a long time, and I know they're young, but they're very talented. I know they've hit some rough spots here, but most teams, when they hit rough spots, they tend to think they can get well at home. So I know they play Baptist Thursday before they play us. So you know, we're gonna have to go in there and regardless of what happens, win or lose Thursday, we got to go in there and prepare and play these guys, because they're a good team and got some good players. You know, Marquise Addison's a great player. He must just be a junior. So you know, they got good players, and they've hit a rough spot, but you know, hopefully we'll go in there and play well.
And when you go against a team like that, who, I mean, they're not going to win the conference championship. They're under 500, but they would take great delight in spoiling things for the Mules.
Well, the targets, you know, I mean, all you have to do is, I mean, we can go back to last Wednesday. We walked into Jason Gym in Jeff City. I mean, the target's on the back. I mean, I know we won the game and we won it handily, but you know, they're passing out T-shirts and they're promoting it. And we go to Lindenwood on Saturday and they're passing out T-shirts. They're passing out pizzas. They're doing baby race. Had a baby race. Never seen a baby race before.
That was fun.
That was good. Yeah, that was good. But you know, there's just a lot of stuff going on, and so. You know, when you're in first place, the bullseye's on your back, and I don't expect that to be any different Thursday night in Edmond or Saturday night in Joplin. You know, people get ready to play the first place team, and if you're not having a great year, beating the first place team is, you know, that's the Super Bowl. You know, that's a neat thing for a team maybe that's struggling. I've been on the other side of it. You know, when you're maybe not having a great year and you go in and you beat the top team, you feel pretty good for a few days. And so, but then you always ask yourself, well, why didn't we do that more often?
Right.
Tough game, tough weekend, tough stretch here. We got to get through this. Just take it one game at a time. And then I think we have 3 of our last 5 at home. So give us a chance, hopefully, to get back home and get rested up a little bit.
Kim, I know you can't actually scoreboard watch at this point in the season, but you're obviously keeping track of the other scores, and there's a big game Saturday night affecting the teams that are right behind you in the conference standings. Northwest plays at Washburn, and that's the first of 2 back-to-back almost, because they play this Saturday and next Saturday.
Well, the schedule's interesting. you know, I've talked about this before with the way the MIAA is set up now with 15 teams. You know, Washburn and Northwest still have to play twice. Obviously, we've already played Northwest our one time. We go to Washburn here at the end of the season. Northwest still has to play Fort Hays twice. Fort Hays still plays Washburn once. So, you know, that pod there, that northern pod, whatever you want to call it, there's a lot of key games left in that group. And you know, that group is three of those teams are in the top 5 or 6 or 7, somewhere in there. So there's a lot of basketball to be played. You know, the team I think that really has an advantage is Northeastern Oklahoma. They have a lot of home games left, and you know, I think they've lost 4 games. In the league.
Finish on the 27th. They don't play that last weekend.
They finish early, and you know, so they've got a good home schedule left. We're once we get through this, we're kind of, you know, 3 out of 5 at home, but. That's why I always said early on, you know, everybody's saying, oh yeah, you're 9-1 or whatever we were, you got a 2-game lead. I go, don't look at that. You need to look at those schedules, but there is a lot of basketball left to be played, and there's a lot of big games for everybody. You know, everybody plays for something. You know, you got, even though like Lincoln maybe is in last place, they're only a game or 2 out of going to the tournament, going to the MIAA tournament, and so. Then you're trying to get into the top 4 so you don't have to play a play-in game, or maybe you're trying to get in the top 8 so you can host a play-in game, or you got national tournament ramifications or winning the conference. So everybody's playing for something. It's not like anybody's done, and so every team gets ready to play whenever you go into their place.
And the good part from the Mule standpoint is you're in first place and everybody's chasing you, and you control your own destiny.
It's good. So now you win the rest of your games, you're going to win the conference. But I got to tell you, that's going to be a tall task.
Kim, thank you. Good luck this weekend.
All right, Bill. Great job, man.
Coming up on Sports Page, we're going to take a look at the Jennies basketball newcomer, BreAnna Lewis, right after this on Sports Page.
I was ready for a career change, and the University of Central Missouri had the program I needed.
I always wanted to be a teacher. Now I'm finally able to do what I love.
I was ready to start a family, and I needed more job flexibility. UCM's Master of Arts in Teaching degree prepared me for the classroom.
Use your experience in the professional world to make a difference in the classroom.
Earn your MAT degree online in Lee Summit or Warrensburg. Get started at ucmo.edu/MAT.
I'm Mark Wahlberg with a brand new episode of Antiques Roadshow. This time, our spotlight shines on objects linked to the famous.
My parents were bowling, and in the lane next to them was Babe Ruth and his wife.
This stuff comes into the show, and it blows my mind.
Wow.
You gotta be kidding me.
I'm not.
Don't miss our special Fame and Fortune episode on Antiques Roadshow.
I grew up on a farm right near Dedrick, Missouri, and did all the farm stuff, FFA and high school at Elrod Springs, Missouri. Went to college at MU, majored in agriculture, got out and turned down some other job opportunities because I always wanted to farm. And I enjoy meeting the people that are involved in Missouri agriculture. We've had some just really unique and interesting people on our show, talking about special projects that they're doing, the shape of things to come, some disagreements sometimes over policy, but I do enjoy it and enjoy Missouri people, and I enjoy communicating about agriculture.
Hi, I'm Galen Doty.
And I'm Wes Hinches. We invite you to join us right here on Agri-Legacy.
Our mission is to help you pass your legacy to the next generation the best way possible.
That's Agri-Legacy right here on KMOS-TV.
Thank you for watching KMOS Channel 6.1, Sedalia, Warrensburg.
The Jennies held off a fired-up Lindenwood women's team Saturday to get a win and stay right in the thick of their MIAA race. They're tied for second, 17-2, 9-2 in the MIAA. 4 players in double figures for the Jennies. BreAnna Lewis led the way with 19. Nicole Cadell posted her 8th double-double of the season with 18 points and 10 rebounds. Kiana Flax added 18 points, and Quenisha Twine tossed in 13 points. The Jennies hit 11 three-pointers in the game and won the game 83-75. BreAnna Lewis has been a most welcome addition to this year's Jennies team. If you've seen them play, you know that she is exciting to watch. So let's get to know Jennies basketball player BreAnna Lewis.
I'm from Greenville, Mississippi. It's about 9 to 10 hours from here. How did I get convinced to come here was, I want to say the time that our junior college was in national championship last year in Salinas, Kansas, and Coach Keister came and watched me play or whatever, and he liked the way he see, and he recruited me, and I came on a visit here, and I liked everything about it, the athletic program, the school program, and everything was amazing, so I came here. Playing on the undefeated national junior college team last year was my first time ever playing on any team undefeated in any sport. Every moment felt good from practice, even if it was a bad practice, from games after games. Just every moment felt good while we was playing basketball. Some of the hardest things to adjust here from last year's junior college is the pregame workout, and just the workouts are different. It's more tougher than last year. Yes, I consider myself one of the leaders on the team. We have several leaders on the team. As a matter of fact, Kiana Flax, Nicole Cardell, Aaron Redmond, they're both seniors, and me and Kiana, we're juniors. So next year we're going to have that more role of being a leader. But yeah, other than that, I do consider myself a leader on the team. A practice to me is, it's a time where we make our mistakes. It's a time where we bust the hardest. Even in the game, we bust the hardest, we make mistakes. But during practice, that's a perfect time where all of that can take place, so we can know what we're doing wrong and perfect it. It's a time where you give it your all. You go the hardest in practice, so you can go the hardest in the game. The way we practice reflects on how we play in games. Growing up playing basketball, I had several mentors. My first mentor was my oldest sister. She's 2 years older than me. She played throughout high school, but didn't play in college or whatever. Then my high school coach, he was always my mentor. When I was in high school, ever since I got to college, I stopped doing it, whatever. I used to always have to have a headband before I played. Every game, I wanted a headband. I remember when I was in senior, it was senior night, and my dad, he was supposed to bring me a headband, but the game had already started or whatever, but I didn't want to get in the game without getting my headband at first, so we had to wait a while so my dad can bring my headband, and they waited to start the game on me. My major is criminal justice. I just want to be a police. After my basketball career, I want to go back to my hometown and be a police, try to help out in the community. The future on the rest of the season looks good in my eyes. I think we're going to finish real well. I think we're going to do good. I think we're going to make it to the national champions. I think we got a good shot at winning the national championship. So far, since I've been to UCM, I feel like I've been here a few years, but this is my first year here, and I like it a lot. I like playing for Coach Lifer and Coach Keister. I like the instructors, some of the instructors. Off the court, I like to go to the campus or whatever, hang around with some of the teammates. It's been pretty good here so far. I'm having a really good time.
BreAnna has started every game for the Jennies this season, leads the team in three-pointers with 54, while averaging almost 18 points per game. She also shares the lead in assists with 38, and perhaps most importantly, she knows how to win, and will try to help the Jennies go into the postseason a long way this season. Well, you've seen how the basketball teams fared over the weekend. Now here's a look at how the rest of the UCM sports teams performed. A good weekend for the baseball team down in Houston, Texas, as they opened their season at Minute Maid Park, home of the Astros, courtesy of former Mules All-American and UCM alum and Hall of Famer Jim Crane, who now just happens to be the owner of the Houston Astros. Mules lost their opener to Texas A&M Kingsville 4-1 as the Bats took a little while to get going. They won their second game over Abilene Christian 8-1. They beat Arkansas Tech by a score of 10-4 and then won the finale yesterday by a score of 2-1 over Arkansas Monticello. So they come back from Houston, Texas with a record of 3-1. Kyle Grieshaber was the hitting leader for the Mules on their 4-game swing. He hit .467. 2 home runs, had 5 RBIs, including the game-winning home run against Arkansas Monticello yesterday. The pitching was good for the Mules as well, as they finished the 4 games with a team ERA of 2.00. The Mules are now idle until February 16th and 17th. And that's when they will open their MIAA season. In fact, all the rest of their games this season are MIAA games, and they'll be at Fort Hays State for those conference games on the 16th and 17th. The Mules and Jennies track and field team competed in the Mule Relays on Friday and Saturday at the Multipurpose Building. In the women's events on Friday, Zoe Sharpland won the pentathlon, Brittany Kallenberger won the pole vault, and the distance medley relay team also was victorious. In the men's competition on Saturday, a fine day for Laban Cialo, the Mules' outstanding distance runner. He ran the 3K in a time of 8:21.85, breaking the 15-year-old multi-purpose building record set by Alexander Alexin, a 2004 UCM Hall of Famer. Brent Vogel won the pole vault and the 800 meters. Ethan Warren won the heptathlon. Devin Claypool won the high jump, and Zach Thompson won the shot put. The Jennies bowling team competed at the Prairie View A&M Invitational in Texas over the weekend and finished 6th in a field of 12 teams. 11 of those 12 teams were all Division I teams. The Jennies were the only team not a Division I school. Kara Richard led the Jennies with a 195 average for her 13 games. Coming up next on Sports Page, we'll visit with Mules wrestling coach Justin Ensign about his young team and how they will approach the upcoming first MIAA wrestling tournament since 1986. And our second Sports Page Spotlight of the program will feature one of Justin's top performers, Ty Loethen. That's coming up on Sports Page.
How can sandstorms in the Sahara transform the Amazon rainforest over 5,000 miles away? Why does a vast undersea waterfall in Antarctica lead to a feeding frenzy near the equator? Eyes in Space reveal the answer.
Satellites turn invisible processes into the visible things we can see and then understand.
Earth from Space on Nova.
Hi, we're the Bacon Brothers, and PBS is important to us. My brother Michael here has composed music for the documentary series Nova, Bill Moyer's Journal, and The American Experience. Isn't that right, Mike?
That is right.
Mm-hmm. Hey, didn't you win an Emmy for writing music for one of those shows?
Yes. Have you ever won one? No. Okay. Experience you may have this year, but so far I'm the only Emmy-winning person in our family. There's also your involvement with PBS, which is a performance that you did a long time ago with a certain very beautiful young woman.
Yeah, that was American Playhouse, and it was a very, very long time ago. And I met my wife, Kira, on PBS. Yeah, that was great. Yeah, changed my life, but nothing compared to your work on PBS. People should really check that out.
Yeah, you know, you're right.
I am?
I mean, you were great, but it's not like you won an Emmy yet.
Yeah, to hear more about my acting, you can watch me interviewed on Charlie Rose or Tavis Smiley here on PBS. Have you ever been on Charlie Rose, Mike?
Oh, he's called me a lot, but I've just been too busy.
Okay.
Well, how about we disagree? We both love PBS.
We both love PBS.
PBS is my source for engaging drama and interviews.
PBS is my source for award-winning documentaries.
You're watching KMOS Channel 6.1, Sedalia, Warrensburg.
Joining us now on Sports Page is Mules wrestling coach Justin Ensign. Justin, welcome to the program.
Well, thanks for having me.
You finished the regular season with a record of 6-7 in dual matches and faced 6 top 20 nationally ranked teams. That's a pretty tough schedule, especially for a young team like you have. Who made that schedule?
Well, I do. No, it was kind of, I mean, some of that stuff we can't really control. It's conference schedule, which is kind of nice. It forces these teams to come here and us to go there, and balances the schedule pretty well. But a lot of them, you know, these teams want to come to our school. I think it says a lot about where we're located and the university itself. I didn't really have to try too hard to get them here and anything like that. But, you know, I knew we'd have a young team, especially after last year, and I know we're on the building phase. You know, if you look at our schedule, it's pretty balanced in the fact that we saw some cupcakes in there too. But we need to see that stuff, because ultimately that's what we're trying to do, is go see these tough regional, tough national opponents and tough conference opponents to get us ready for these next coming week to month of the postseason here. So.
Do you use that as a selling point when you're out recruiting, the fact that if you come and wrestle for Central Missouri, you're going to go against some of the top teams in the country?
Oh, always, always. You know, in the past, my first years as head coach, we actually got into national duels where, you know, it's the top 16 returning teams, and that was a good sell. Well, we didn't have the returning points to get in, so I thought I'd make our own events, just very similar. Instead of 2 days in a row wrestling a bunch of 6 duels, we spread it out a little more. But yeah, you know, that's what kids want to wrestle the best, especially if you're competing against a kid competing against other Division I schools or other conference schools. I mean, yeah, your record may be inflated if you go somewhere else, but I think it ultimately does prepare you for, you know, the regional and the national tournament, and that's where we're really truly judged in our sport.
At this point in the season, what has pleased you most about this team?
You know, that's one thing I think they've gotten. If they may not see it, and we forget it as coaches sometimes, but I think they've definitely grown a lot. You know, and they for the most part, they're good kids. They stick together. They've grown a lot. We've gotten so much better since August or September when they arrived here. But you don't always see it, and you know, and each week we've preached just getting better week to week and controlling what you can control. And yeah, we've had setbacks. I think, you know, we've got some dual losses where the score doesn't quite add up, or, you know, we've got 1 or 2 losses in there I think should have gone the other way. But I think at the end of the day, I mean, we've made adjustments week to week and gotten better in certain areas. So that's something that's definitely pleased me, and you know, and like I said, I think the guys work pretty hard and they want to be here, so it's been pretty fun.
You've got 3 wrestlers with 20 or more wins: Ty Loethen at 165, Nick Vitorisi at 149, and Tim Tuakaway at heavyweight. Were you expecting that from those 3 guys?
Yeah, definitely. You know, Nick's somebody should have been at our national tournament last year and should have been All-American last year, and he's got some big wins this year, and now it's doing it when it matters and getting some guys back that beat him. And you know, Ty being he was a starter last year for Northern Illinois and had a winning record there. You know, going from the MAC conference to the MIAA, I mean, yeah, so I expected him to have meaning impact. You know, I expected, honestly, for him to be tougher to adjust from that level to this level, but he's done a tremendous job with that. And Tim, I mean, Tim Tuakaway was a junior college All-American, and I brought him in with expecting an immediate impact. And to solidify last year, we had an injury at heavyweight and didn't have anyone there, and I expected him to step in and kind of, you know, put in, you know, and immediately improve that weight class and give us somebody, an All-American contender right away. So that's been expected.
Tim's got 28 wins. He's got a chance to get 30 this year.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, we've wrestled Tim a lot more, and you know, in our sport we have these open tournaments, and you know, with these guys being older, I'll rest those guys. But Tim's been pretty healthy, so we've been using him a lot more, and hope to get his confidence rolling and believe in himself. Because, you know, coming from a junior college, yeah, there's so many tough guys there, but the schedule is not quite the grind that it is at the Division II level, you know. And Ty and Nick, they're older, and they've had some injury history, so they would have more wins. But I've actually sat them in a few opens and trying to get them ready, all these guys ready to peak at the MIAA tournament, our regional nationals.
Another young man who joined your team late in the season, Clarence Neely, he's been very solid for you at 184.
Yeah, and that was a very nice pickup. You know, kind of luck. I mean, he's a guy he's bounced around. He's been to a bunch of schools, but no, I mean, the kid, you know, he listens, he does what we ask, and he's mighty talented. I mean, it stinks only getting him at semester because you don't get to know him quite as well. as you would if you had him for a full season. But he's immediate impact. He's so talented. Like I said, he placed last year at the Southern Scuffle, one of the toughest D1 tournaments. You know, beating guys who are not ranked in the Division I level. You know, now it's just now it's just getting him to be consistent. You know, and you know he had a loss the other night against Central Oklahoma, but I think it's something he needed and is going to be a blessing in disguise to let him know, hey, this isn't going to be easy, and I gotta, you know, guys are gonna, you know, and the guy tried to wrestle, had a game plan where he's gonna try to slow him down because he is so athletic and comes so hard, and I think now he's got to make those adjustments, but I think he'll do it. He's hungry. He likes winning. He likes to compete.
Last week was your final home match of the season against University of Central Oklahoma. For those who are not familiar with college wrestling, Central Oklahoma is kind of the gold standard in Division II. They've been great for so long. They're ranked 3rd in the country this year, and you knew they were going to be tough. Justin, I'll just kind of let you call the play-by-play here and then describe who's on the mat and what they're exactly trying to do.
Sure, this is one of our freshmen. I mean, this is a kid, Laramie Allenball, he's an Okie, so I definitely think he puts a lot of pressure himself to wrestle Central Oklahoma guys. But no, I mean, he made some mistakes here, but I think he's a kid down the road we're going to see a lot of good things from. He wrestles a hard pace, and once he cleans some things up, I mean, you saw he's in deep on a guy's leg and not finishing, and you know, getting to his feet and not getting out, you know, and those are those little things where we talk about improving week to week, and sooner or later it's all going to click for him. You know, like I said, he's a real tough freshman for us. A kid, you know, we pulled his red shirt early in the year, and he's responded, and he's become the guy at 125 for us. This is Hunter Neighbors, freshman out of Jeff City. Had some weight issues earlier in the year, but he's a real good kid, real good background. And right now he's battling probably, I say, the best kid in the country at that weight. And you know, last year, early in the season, he saw this kid and he really put it on him, but he did a better job closing the gap and getting after him. Yeah, the score didn't show it, but you know, he went after the guy. Look here, he's cranking on this guy pretty good. And you know, again, I think there's some things we can fix here to get the turns needed to, you know, put this guy away. And this is his strongest position. This is where he wants to be on guys. And you know, like I said, just the two true freshmen starting the lineup out is, like I said, I got a young team, but I think, you know, it's good for them. They know it now. They know what to expect, and they know what they need to do to compete at a high level. And they're kind of thrown to the fire, but they have the talent to overcome a lot of it. You know, both these guys are about 500 for me this year. It's Eric Mateo. This is a real disappointing one. You know, just because this kid. He's beating their other guy, and they're still trying to figure out who their starter is. And just this guy really exposed some fundamental errors here. And like I said, I think this is one we'll hopefully get back. You know, this kid wrestles a really unorthodox style, and I think sometimes you need to see that. You know, maybe you lose the first time, but make those adjustments where, you know, the guy's not getting away with murder on you. And you know, like I said, good fundamentals beats those styles 9 times out of 10. It's just, you know, making it happen. But we expect a lot of Eric. This one was a key matchup. I thought, you know, a couple little things, and we went the other way. Just he's kind of had our number at 149, Nick Federici. You know, Ty Loethen did what you're supposed to do here. They threw him a backup, and he went out there and really put it on the guy. And you know, and like I said, if they're not going to put the best guy out against you, you know, I don't care who steps on the line, take it to him.
Took about a minute and a half to pin this guy.
yeah. You know, but that's Ty. He's very good on top. I think he's got to have over 10 pins this year, and so he's a pinner. And if you make the mistake on the mat with him, he's going to put away. Yeah, you know, one thing, this one really, I think, like I said, was a blessing in disguise. I mean, you know, the guy, he's a couple of adjustments to get some back points there, but no, Clarence, you know, I think, like I said, he's talented. This Clarence, you know, he's real talented. He's, you know, look, he's putting work on a guy who's 4th in the country last year, and like I said, if, you know, it doesn't play this guy's game as much, we're hanging out and, you know, just getting on offense where he's at his best. I think this is a match we're going to kill this guy later in the year, you know, really put it on him.
This one went to overtime, and North Central Oklahoma won it by a score of 7-6, so it was probably maybe the best match of the night other than Ty's pin in his match.
Yeah, and just, you know, little thing. I mean, even he had to come back that even that went up, you know, and so it showed a lot of heart and shows that he can do it. If he needs to. It's just he got out, and the other guy got out, and he didn't. You know, was the difference in that ride out. Todd Breyer, you know, he's done a good job overall since we put him up at 197, and you know, lost a tough one there, but you know, he's really made the adjustment to the new weight class. So.
You took some of your wrestlers to the Missouri Valley Open on Sunday, and Todd Breyer, who we just saw, and Josh Plouffe each posted third-place finishes. Was that just to get some additional competition for them going into postseason?
Yeah, we always go to that event every year, and it's one where we always just take guys who need matches. You know, obviously there are our backups and things like that, but you know, like Todd. You know, he's been feeling pretty good, pretty healthy, and you know, needs to get some confidence at his new weight class, at least for him, get him some matches. We have some weight classes that are still kind of on the side of 174. We put Jake Hawks and Josh Plouffe both in there to kind of settle it out. And 133, the same thing. We've had Luke McClure and Hunter Neighbors in there trying to figure those out. So we use that kind of event because I'm not big on wrestle-offs because I don't care if you can beat your teammate. It's who can do it, you know, right? It's who can do the best when it matters in the competition, I think, is the ultimate decider. And that's what's nice about our sport. We get to go to a lot of these tournaments and put other guys in there and see because it's a lot of it's, yeah, you can beat your teammate when no one's watching. Who can do it when the lights are on? And you know, if you got to be able to compete when the lights are on, because you know, what's that going to be something that keeps you from, you know, reaching your goals if your goals are to be really successful in the sport.
For the first time since 1986, the MIAA will have a conference wrestling tournament this year, and it's this Sunday at Central Oklahoma. And I would think that's something your kids are really looking forward to.
Yeah, I hope so too. But you know, we got to show up and wrestle because we got, you know, I think we 4-day states ranked. Central Oklahoma, we just saw how good they are, and Nebraska Kearney, the returning national champs, and they look a lot different now than when we saw them, and so do we earlier this year. But you know, they're still a very dangerous team. Like I said, they were the national champs last year, and they still have a lot of firepower. And just, you know, Lindenwood, Fort Truman State, and us, it's going to be a good battle. It's a small tournament, which is nice. We won't get our guys too beat up, too close to the regional. But it's going to be a nice final test to see where we're at, and obviously having lost some of these matches, that's what we've been preaching, is a good chance to get these guys back and showing them how much better we've gotten since the last time we've wrestled some of them. So yeah, I mean, I'm excited, and I really hope our team's ready to wrestle Sunday morning. So
we mentioned your 3 20-win guys and Clarence Neely. In addition to those 4, who else do you feel like has a good chance to perform well in the tournament?
You know, Eric Mateo, he's had a lot of losses, but he's really picked it up lately. I mean, you know, with him, it's just becoming consistent and making adjustments. And, you know, when he's been able to be consistent and be solid and good fundamentally, he's beaten guys who've been to the national tournament this year. But he's been battling that. Todd Breyer, like we just saw him up at that new weight, we expect a lot out of. You know, those are just a few others. And like I said, I think anybody's dangerous this time of year. If you can get your confidence going and believe in what you're doing and making those adjustments from earlier in the season or from last week to this week, I've seen crazy things. We've all seen crazy things happen where guys with losing records are wrestling for, you know, All-American trophies. You know, why can't that happen? So then that's what we preach, is just, it doesn't matter what happened last week as long as you fix it and make it better. So,
Justin, when you're out recruiting, obviously besides a kid's 1-loss record, what are you looking for when you're recruiting someone to come to Central Missouri?
Well, obviously they got to be able to hack it academically and get into school and make it. And that's one less thing you got to worry about. And, you know, character's a big part of it. And obviously, you know, we're a team, you know, or I like to be team-oriented. I think you're more successful. Even though this is an individual sport, but there's a team aspect. I mean, you can't get better. We need to work out with somebody, you need to practice on somebody, and you need to have a team pushing you. And to win a team national championship, you need a large number of guys doing well. And so guys who fit into that, guys who are going to go to class, and guys who are coachable. I think coachability, especially with today's kids, when they, you know, and are they going to be also willing to stick it out when times get tough? I think the kids today, if they don't see that immediate light at the tunnel, you know, they're not seeing the same success they had at their high school or wherever before, they're not gonna, you know, be as much to come back and work ethic, work hard through it, work hard through the struggles. So,
Justin, thank you very much, and good luck this weekend in the MIAA tournament.
Thank you.
We hope the Mules do well. As we promised, right after this, we're going to take a closer look at Mules wrestler Ty Loethen. That's next on Sports Page.
There are stories that need to get out.
You rescue girls from brothels? How does that work?
The real story are the people who rise above this incredible cruelty.
Did you actually see any girls that young go with him into the house?
Yes. It must stop, because it can't stop.
Army's incredible. Now I have absolutely no excuse.
The role and rights of women and girls is the unfinished business of the 21st century.
KMOS-TV continues to face major reductions in funding. In order for us to provide you with the quality PBS programming you expect, we need to act now. Please join us as we launch the KMOS-TV $100,000 Challenge. We seek to raise $100,000 in new member contributions between now and June 30th, 2013. This will give the station momentum heading into a resource-starved year. We know that you appreciate KMOS-TV programming. You can help by making a tax-deductible contribution. It can be done one of several ways: through the KMOS-TV webpage, by calling with your pledge of support, by contributing during the station's next membership drive, or by contacting us directly to create a sustainer membership. However you do it, it's important that KMOS-TV has a whole new set of viewers who will step forward to provide significant support to keep the station's programming on the air and available to everyone in Central Missouri. We know you're up to the challenge.
Hi, I'm Galen Doty.
And I'm Wes Hinches. We invite you to join us right here on Agri-Legacy.
Our mission is to help you pass your legacy to the next generation the best way possible.
That's Agri-Legacy right here on KMOS-TV.
You're watching KMOS Channel 6.1, Sedalia, Warrensburg.
The season's been going really well for me, I think. Beginning of the season, not quite as great as I wanted to. I lost a few top-ranked kids that I was beating prior in the match and then just kind of lost it in the end. But lately, with our coaching staff here, they've really helped me kind of keep my composure in the match and stay on top of it and to fix the little details that you need to be, you know, the top-ranked kid in the nation. And they've really been doing well with that. And lately, I've been getting hot, I think, and I got a good chance to, you know, do well in the in-game and postseason. And team goal-wise, we wanted to do a little better than we did, but overall we did a lot better than last year's team, is what I've been told. I'm a transfer, so I don't really know the last year's team too much. But the coaching staff here, I think, has improved our team as a whole greatly. Justin Ensign's a great head coach and brought in a lot of really good assistants who are great technicians from heavyweight to littleight, and just, I think, have made everyone a lot better, including myself this year. I'm the first third-generation wrestler at my high school, Elias High School. My grandpa was on their first team. My dad was a good wrestler, wrestled here actually for a little bit. And then, you know, my uncles and cousins and everyone's wrestled, and I just kind of follow in their footsteps. My dad's trained me ever since I've been a little kid. Honestly, you know, Division I, Division II, Division III, NAIA, JUCO, everyone's good wrestlers. They're in college. They're there for a reason. The biggest difference, I say, between D1 and D2 is the depth. Say in D1, you got everyone's, you know, state champ, whatever. D2, your best kids are almost the same level as your D1 kids. I mean, it was cool, but here, I think at UCM, I got a lot more, like the team's a lot closer. I feel like maybe not out for their own personal glory, doing it more for the team here, and I think a lot better, closer bonds with my teammates here than as in NIU. I think we're pretty close. They're really, really nice guys, and they're very accessible. And like, if they have a problem, if you're doing something wrong, they're gonna tell you point blank, hey, I mean, if it's just as minor as, you know, hey, shoot it this way, not that way, or it's like, hey, you can't be doing this, you know, they're gonna tell you, and they're ultimately always out there for you, for everyone on the team. And I think it's an awesome thing I love here. It's not like that everywhere, and that's another reason I really, really love being here at UCM with these coaches. Justin Ensign's an awesome head coach, I think. And I think he'll continue to be an awesome head coach, and he brings in great clinicians. Like, we got our Blake Gillis and Connor McDonald, who are just amazing wrestlers, teach you the best technique. Couldn't ask for anything more. My relationship with my teammates is very close. We're brothers. It's pure and simple. We do everything together. We laugh together, cry together, bleed together. We work out together, and we're always pushing each other. If there's anyone maybe having a hard day and they're maybe not going as hard as they should be, we're gonna push them. Like, hey man, step it up. And I know people have done that to me, and I've done that to other people on the team. and everyone needs that. And at the same time, if someone's doing something great, like, hey, awesome, way to win that match, way to gut it out. And it's just, you can't ask for a better group of guys. Team goal-wise is, you know, we want to have as many, you know, All-Americans as we can get and everything else. But the biggest deal is, I think we're always pushing each other. From, you know, third, fourth string kid to starter, we're always going as hard as we can to push that kid to make him to the next level. So as goal-wise, yeah, just be the best you can possibly be and go as far as you possibly can go. Superstitious, maybe a little, like in my warm-ups, I do the same number like high kicks and cartwheels and like jogs around the mat and stuff like that. Like, I don't know if it's OCD or superstition, but a big thing I do is, since I've been kindergarten, when I first started wrestling, is I always make the sign of the cross and I Hail Mary before every match. I'm Catholic and came from a Catholic school in grade school, and me and my dad do that before every single match, and if he's not there, he'll call me. If he can't call me, I'll do it on my own, and just something I've always done, and I feel like it puts me in a place I need to be before every match, centered and focused. My whole life, I've always loved wrestling, grew up around it, and always wanted to be the best I could be. And they say it's one of those sports that doesn't really pay off because there is no big signing check after college. But in the end, it's what I've always loved. And ever since I've been first grade kindergarten, I've always like, hey, seen those guys wrestling in college and the Olympics. I'm like, hey, I'm going to be there one day. And I remember specific moments in like grade school, high school. People are like, dude, you know how hard that is? You know, the percentage of people that actually, you know, get scholarships to wrestle in college, that go on to All-American, win nationals, whatever. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to do it. And I haven't done it, haven't, you know, All-American yet, haven't won nationals yet. I'm not going to put that promise out there, but I'm going to keep going until, you know, I reach my goal, and just the whole life, just keep working.
Ty Loethen, an outstanding young man and another in a line of outstanding student athletes from Jefferson City, Elias, who have come to Central Missouri. Ty, as we mentioned in this segment with Justin, has 20 wins this season, and he'll be in action this weekend for the Mules at the MIAA tournament. It's going to be another busy few days for UCM athletics, and we'll take a look at the upcoming schedule in just a moment.
The University of Central Missouri's MBA program in Ethical Strategic Leadership offers something new and unique to the Kansas City marketplace. We started with a blank slate and said, what is going to be of most value to the students? In the program, we're going to be emphasizing and building one's skills as an analytical thinker. And those skills are applicable to any job, any industry, any organization.
Get started at ucmo.edu/ethicalmba.
Load up your golf clubs, grab your spikes, and head out to the first tee. As our way of saying thank you for your financial contribution at the $50 level or higher, KMOS will send you a member card. In addition to great discounts at restaurants, attractions, and bed and breakfast all across Missouri, the member card also offers 2-for-1 greens fees at several Missouri golf courses. Improve your swing while taking in beautiful lake vistas. Or experience the Rumble at America's only golf course above an active mine. Take your game to the next level by playing around on us. Call 1-800-753-3436 and support KMOS-TV, Missouri PBS. Thank you.
Thank you for watching KMOS Channel 6.1, Sedalia, Warrensburg.
Welcome back to Sports Page on KMOS-TV. It's another busy few days for UCM athletics as we take a look at the upcoming schedule for the Mules and Jennies. The basketball teams will wrap up their four-game road swing this weekend. Thursday night, they are in Edmond, Oklahoma to play Central Oklahoma. The Mules will play at 7:30. And then on Saturday, the Mules will play in Joplin at 7:30. And then next Wednesday at home, February 13th against Lindenwood in a 7:30 game at the Multipurpose Building. We'd like to see a great crowd out there and kind of return the favor to Lindenwood, who had a great crowd for their game, and they beat the Mules on Saturday in St. Charles. You can listen to the Mules games on 1450 Cocoa, 98.5 FM, 90.9 FM, and WarrensburgRadio.com. The Jennies will obviously have the same schedule on their basketball trip. They will be in Central Oklahoma on Thursday night with a 5:30 game against the Broncos. They'll be in Joplin to play the Lady Lions at 5:30 on Saturday. And then they will play Lindenwood at home on 5:30 on Wednesday the 13th. And it'll be great to have both teams back in the multipurpose building. Seems like they've been gone for quite a while. And you can hear the Jennies games on 1450 Cocoa, 98.5 FM, and WarrensburgRadio.com. The wrestlers, as we mentioned with Justin, will be at Edmond, Oklahoma on Sunday for the MIAA Championship, the first MIAA Wrestling Championship since 1986. Track and field will be up in Ames, Iowa this weekend, competing in the Iowa State Classic February 8th and 9th. The Jennies bowling team will be making another trip down to Texas. This weekend they'll be in the Southern University Challenge on the 8th and 9th, and that'll be in Dallas, Texas. It's opening weekend for the Jennies softball team as they will be in Durant, Oklahoma for the Southeastern Oklahoma Invitational. A lot of softball is scheduled to be played over the weekend. Friday, the Jennies will play 2 games. They'll open the season against Arkansas Monticello at 2 o'clock and then play Cameron at 4. On Saturday, they'll take on Arkansas Tech at noon and face Ouachita Baptist at 4. And then they'll wrap up play on Sunday with a noon game against Southeastern Oklahoma and a 2 p.m. game against Henderson State. A reminder that the UCM Athletics Hall of Fame is coming up on February 16th with a 9:30 a.m. brunch at the Elliott University Union. The deadline for reservations to the Hall of Fame is this Friday, February the 8th. You can call the athletic office at 660-543-4250. That's reservations for the UCM Athletic Hall of Fame coming up on February 16th. The deadline for reservations is this Friday, February 8th. And finally, a football note tonight. The Mules were ranked 12th in home attendance in NCAA Division II this fall, averaging 7,715 fans at Walton Stadium Kennedy Field. So great support from the fans, and we hope it happens again next year. In case you want to make a note on your calendar, the Mules season opener for 2013, September the 5th, against the MIAA champion Griffins from Missouri Western here in Warrensburg. Well, that wraps up this week's edition of Central Missouri Sports Page. I hope you'll join us here next week for all the latest news on the Mules and Jennies. Sean Jones will be back in his usual role of host. I've enjoyed filling in for him these last 2 weeks. Until then, for our entire crew, I'm Bill Turnage. Thanks for watching Central Missouri Sports Page on KMOS-TV. Good night.
Support for Sports Page is provided by First Central Bank, full-service banking from 6 locations in Warrensburg, Holden, Higginsville, and Odessa. More information is available on their Facebook page or at the website firstcentral.net. Member FDIC. And by Union Station, crossroads to technology, a one-stop shopping source for technology needs. Campus-compatible computers, software for Mac and PCs, and much more. Located on campus on the lower floor of the Elliott Union in Warrensburg. Union Station, crossroads to technology. And promotional support for Sports Page is provided by 1450 Cocoa and 98.5 The Bar. 1450 Cocoa and 98.5 The Bar, the radio home of University of Central Missouri Athletics.